Okay, great. Thanks everybody for joining. Welcome to our first ever product Roundup webinar here at Hubtiger. My name is Kyle. I'm the product owner here at Hubtiger, and I'll be taking you through some of the latest features and updates that we've been working on over the last 6 months. Um, I see some party streamers going on. Thanks. Nice to see people joining in the call. Great to actually interact with some people on a live call and some of our customers I see as well, which is great. Right, so as I said, my name's Carl. I'm going to take you through some of the key features that we've been working on over the last 6 months. But before I actually jump straight into that, I just wanted to actually mention quite an amazing milestone for us at Hubtiger. We've just recently hit 2 million services booked through the Hubtiger platform, which is such a great milestone. And it's just, I just want to take a moment to thank all of our customers that they may not all be on the call, obviously, but it's just an opportunity to thank our customers. So obviously this is a really cool achievement for us as Hubtiger, but it would not have been possible without our customers, which is you. And yeah, we are extremely grateful for your support. So thank you very much. Anyway, enough sappy stuff. With that being said, so today we've got a lot of exciting updates to get through. So let's get rolling. But firstly, I just want to bring your attention to just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. It's just so that everybody's aware, the session is recorded. So if you get bored of me bantering on, you're welcome to watch this in your own time, maybe double speed, up to you. And then everybody who has registered, if you're not in the call and if you are on the call, will receive a link to watch it in your own time. And then secondly, as I'm going along, if you have any questions, please just pop them in the Q&A section. So obviously, just in the sake of time, we won't be able to answer all of the questions. I think some of the other panelists that are on may try to assist with answering some questions as we go along. But we will have a Q&A session at the end of the call as well, just to address some of your questions. So we'll try to answer some of them along the way, but we'll focus on it at the end and we can chat through some of your questions. So yeah, let's move on. So so in today's session, we're going to cover some of our new features and also improvements that we've made to the platform over the last 6 months, like I mentioned. You'll notice as I go throughout the session that our goal for all of them is continuously enhancing the user experience and providing real solutions to real world problems, in-store problems. And ensuring that our product remains in the forefront of our industry. So it's not so much just features for the sake of features, but we're trying to make the lives of our customers in store effortless. So just a quick run through of the things that we're going to that I'm going to cover. Some of our newly designed menus and settings pages, the custom questions feature, the addition of waivers on the workshop side for services, linked directly to services, the third-party payments integration, some of our new integrations, some of our latest integrations that we've partnered with, and then some of the more nitty-gritty stuff, like some of our performance enhancements and security enhancements. And then lastly, and that's not on the slide, but because you were so kind to join the call today, you will also get an exclusive sneak peek at what's coming soon. So let's get rolling. So first up is our fresh new look, so our newly designed menu and settings pages. So a lot of people asked why we're doing this, because the platform looked nice before and the functionality looked great, but there's a little bit more to it than just making the platform look pretty. we wanted to upgrade the underlying technology that we use. And while doing so, it highlighted the opportunity for us to re-look at the user experience and the effort, the flow through the site, which is one of the most important parts of our platform. So we partnered with some UI experts called Isoflow to keep our platform fresh and modern and continuously evolving. And while it's fantastic that the product looks good, it's not only about looks. The actual benefits for you as a customer is a more user-friendly interface, easier navigation, and a more intuitive workflow, which is ultimately aimed at saving you time and reducing frustration. And that's always the thought of in the shop itself. When you need to, if you need to change a setting, or you need to get and navigate to a specific area on the platform, making it as effortless as possible for the people on the ground. An example that's already on the site at the moment is our redesigned settings pages, which has put everything into one place, making it easier for you to find the settings that you need and set up your store as quick as possible. We've also added the ability to search, so you can effortlessly search for the setting that you need. So it's all in one place, and it makes it a lot easier to navigate. And then also a little bit of a sneak peek is that we are in the process of rebuilding our job cards, the widgets, and also adding some valuable updates to the main calendar view that is kind of the bread and butter of our product, and that'll be coming in the next few months. That was an additional sneak peek. There's more sneak peeks to come. And yeah, so if you want to find out more about these features as they roll out, you're welcome to join our newsletter, and we'll keep you updated with all our latest releases. Our marketing team asked me to say that. Cool, let's move on. The next feature that we added is the ability to add custom questions that are linked to specific services. So you can either add it as a whole for all customers to answer, or if a specific service requires a specific answer, you can link it directly to a specific service. So this feature allows you as a store to gather the specific information that you need, so making sure that your texts are ready when the client arrives. And also helping to ensure items are returned to the customer to their exact specifications. For example, let me think. For example, maybe knowing the height, weight, and maybe suspension preferences for a bike customer, can really help keep everything clear for your staff, and it helps speed up the handover process in store. So you've collected all of that information already during the booking process, and the client can just drop off the bike with the peace of mind knowing that all of their needs will be met. Or maybe even something like a ski shop requesting a DIN number to make sure that their skis meet regulations for safety. So helps with compliance as well. Yeah, so main key benefits would be improving customer experience. Ultimately, from a business perspective, it saves time, reduces liability, and having this information collected and ready, like I mentioned before, just helps when the customer arrives. It just helps speed up that book-in process, generally helping streamline everything. And next up, we launched our workshop waivers. So we've added configurable pre-service, post-service, and fittings waivers. And the waivers, they're an essential part of any business where you manage people's products. They help outline the rights and responsibilities of the workshop and of the customer. But we've taken it a little step further. It's not as as straightforward as before. So we have the basic setup for the waivers, but we've also added 2 additional areas that are customizable for you to add additional questions or clearances from the customers tailored to your specific needs. So it's completely configurable for you, making the waivers an actual valuable resource. There's no need for paper. You can keep them. They're always stored on Hubtiger, and the customer always gets a copy of it via email as well. So it saves time, it ensures compliance, it minimizes the need for paperwork, which is fantastic, especially in store. It optimizes workflows, productivity, and with our automated messaging, there's no more time wasted following up with clients to make sure that they've signed their waivers or they've got their waivers, or in the workshop itself, if the technicians or staff need to keep up to date with what has or has not been signed, it's all automatically updated on the job cards, which is fantastic. And also the clients themselves can sign the waivers on their phone, which is great. There's also the option, if they haven't signed it beforehand, they can. There's a secure QR code on every job card, which allows you to sign conveniently and allows the staff members to sign as well, which is fantastic. Moving along, our third-party payments. This was introduced earlier this year. I just added it because I thought it was a valuable thing for us to mention. It potentially opens up new opportunities for some businesses. So third-party payments basically allows you to create a profile for brands or warranty providers, insurance companies, all those types of companies, essentially. Anybody who's a third party that you want to bill for a specific job. So you can set this up on your portal. It allows you to easily link a service or a specific job to that third party, and allowing to manage who's responsible for payment. So if the customer is responsible for payment, you can easily quote the customer, but you also conveniently quote the third party, for example, a warranty provider. So like I mentioned, some of the key benefits. It makes managing warranty and insurance claims more convenient, reduces admin. Since we use our already built-in messaging to send quotes for approval to third parties, which helps speed everything up a lot. The third party can approve or decline or adjust the quote, which it helps to allow your staff to easily track when they can get started, what needs to be done, and what parts of the claim or what parts of the job will be paid by the third party, which is great. And this is a continuously evolving feature. So you can expect to see even more convenience in future. It's not completed. It's completely usable at the moment, and we're finding that it's quite convenient, but we've definitely identified with the help of some of our customers that there's some great things that we can add to this. So you can definitely be looking forward to some new features on that. Cool. So then next up is our integrations. So Hubtiger prides itself in partnering with products that add real value to our customers. Integrations are a crucial part of connecting tools and platforms together, creating a more cohesive and efficient workflow. So one of our most recent integrations was with Square, the point of sale product. And our team have been working. Sorry, Square, yes. So we recently integrated with Square, the POS provider, which is great, and it allows more convenience in store, where you can manage your store and you can manage your jobs and services through our platform, but then still manage easily the payments in store. And you could probably see here that I've kind of given away one of our sneak peeks already. Our team has been working really hard on another one, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But ultimately, the benefits for the integrations, streamlining operations, improving data flow between systems. We sync your customers and their products over to keep that process seamless in the store, enhancing functionality. And it also simplifies collecting payments, which is ultimately what we're in business for. So it's great to make it effortless for the people on the ground and your staff members to actually manage those payments. Then let's move on to the next item, which is the little nitty-gritty that I mentioned earlier. So we've made some significant performance and security enhancements. We've upgraded all of our technology to the latest versions, making it more secure and stable. We've spent a lot of time rewriting. I know this might be a bit boring, but we've spent a lot of time rewriting our APIs to try and improve efficiency, speed, and reliability. And it's a key focus for us at the moment. And while we have made some great strides over the last 6 months, you can look forward to seeing a lot more benefit from it. It's obviously difficult to the other features are easy to communicate the benefits to you as customers, because we have you interact with it and you can use it and you can see the benefit, but it's quite difficult to explain the benefit of the time that we've spent improving the speed and the performance of the product. But ultimately, we're looking forward to a faster platform, increased liability, and ultimately our main aim is to always reduce friction and frustration for everybody who's using the platform. There's nothing worse than having friction and frustration in a real world brick and mortar shop. So that's always at the forefront of our minds while we're building and repairing. So and just a note for those on the call that are existing customers. You may have noticed today that we sent out the last feedback request on the portal. Just click on that little bell that keeps ringing at the top there. The last day to submit your feedback is this Friday. So please, if you have any additional feedback that you'd like to give us, please go and pop it on there. I think the top 3 people or the top 3 features or feedbacks get $100, I believe. And cool. Okay, that brings us nicely to the next slide, which is coming soon. So yeah, let's have a look at that sneak peek that I mentioned earlier. And yeah, so I think you'll definitely be the first of our customers to hear that we are integrating with WhatsApp. So I'd like to introduce WhatsApp for messaging. I'm sure most people know what WhatsApp is, but if not, it's a messaging platform, huge, global, worldwide, uses data rather than SMSs for messaging, which is great. We recognize that in many regions, traditional text messages are not the preferred method of communication. They can be expensive, and you're limited by the amount that you could put in these messages. So integrating with WhatsApp, we open up new regions for our customers, breaking down barriers, allowing communication across all areas. Yeah. Well, WhatsApp is great as well because it uses data, which is a lot cheaper a lot cheaper than SMS. And if your customers are on Wi-Fi, basically, it's free essentially. Um, and there's no character limit, which is fantastic. With SMSs, you're stuck to 160 characters, which means if you go over that, you're using multiple messages. You can't use rich content in SMSs. So WhatsApp is fantastic for all of these additional things that just help to build your side of the business. It allows you to show your customers your brand, which is great. We can use rich content like images. We can add buttons and call to actions, as well as you can actually see on here, shop location sharing, which is great. It allows the customer to know exactly where your shop is once they've booked to bring in for a service, or there's multiple possibilities, but it's fantastic. This also allows for enhanced branding opportunities. So you're able to add images to your templates, your message templates, mentioning that this will tie in with our current message templates. It will be an additional feature. So all of the templates that we currently use will be able to be used with WhatsApp, and you can add your own logos to your images, to your messages, and your own styling, which is fantastic. And yes, and again, from a growth perspective, it facilitates multi-regional expansion, which is fantastic. And yes, if so, a note though, not though, a note. If you are interested in using the integration, it's coming up in the next couple of weeks, we will send out messages in our newsletters, but also on the portal. We'll send out push notifications on there so that you'll know when it's ready to get started. But for those of you that are interested, some of the key things that you will need to know is that you will need a Facebook for business profile. I believe it's free, and a WhatsApp for business profile, and that will allow you to connect the integration. So that's just something that get you guys ready. So when we've released it, you can then be ready to connect straight away. So this feature will be launching in the next few weeks. I'd say in the next 2-3 weeks. And yeah, I hope you are just as excited as we are for this feature. I think it creates a really personal touch, especially when your store is interacting directly with the customer. SMS is great. It allows us to notify the customer and they can reply back. But with this WhatsApp integration, it allows that really fast interaction between the shop and the customer. And because it allows rich content, customers can the staff, your technicians could send photos directly to the customer, allowing them to just interact and speed up that process of getting everything sorted, which is fantastic. All right, well, that was exciting. So, right, forgot about that. Okay. Oh, and this is just a quick reminder before we move over to the Q&A section of this webinar. We are running another session tomorrow for our rental product. So you are welcome to right now scan this QR code if you would like to join it. Otherwise, we can also share the link with you. And that session will be same time tomorrow. Cool. Okay, let's move on to the Q&A section of the call. Just want to see if we have some questions. I see a lot of celebrations going on. Great to see.
Kyle, we have some
Cool.
questions in the chat that I noted down. So the first one from Gary, will WhatsApp replace SMS, or is it an additional way of communicating? You want to answer that?
Okay, cool. Yes. Okay. So we got a question about if WhatsApp will replace SMS, or if it'll be additional. So no, so WhatsApp will be an additional messaging service. So we will still have email, SMS, and WhatsApp. So you have the option, it's completely up to you to use WhatsApp or continue to use messaging. We'll also allow for a fallback to either if one is failing. So for example, if WhatsApp messages fails to send, we retry it. If it fails to send again, we will then send an SMS to the client. So it also helps with that as having a bit of a fail-safe to make sure that we always have a high level of deliverability of the messages, which is great.
Awesome. Do you want me to continue reading the questions?
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Then Matthew asks, will customers be able to opt into particular communication methods, or will this be something that they have to communicate to their customers? I think this might still be on WhatsApp.
Okay, yes. No, so the customers would not at the moment be able to choose. So this would be for you in the store to set up yourself. So you can either choose to use all three, WhatsApp, email, and SMS, or one of either. But the store would, yeah, I get I get what you're asking. The store would not necessarily need to let the customer know. You can let the customer know if you feel like they might feel like it's invasion of their privacy or anything like that by getting a message directly from WhatsApp or from you through WhatsApp. But ultimately, it would basically be the same transactional messages that we have at the moment, which would be to notify the customers of the stages throughout the process of your bookings, of their bookings.
Awesome. Thanks, Carl. And then another one on WhatsApp. Seems there's a lot of interest in WhatsApp. Henrietta asked, will we be able to send videos?
Yes. So WhatsApp is, it'll all be, it's rich content. So it's the same as if you are sending it directly. So there will be a section on the portal. So where you currently has the messaging area, there will be a second option for WhatsApp, and the interaction there with the customer will be the same as if you're sending a message directly from your phone to that customer. So the customer gets that experience like they're talking to you directly on your phone, while you get the convenience of having it all on your on the portal and on the job card. So you'll be able to send the videos, send your photos, and interact back and forth with the customer, which is great.
Awesome. Another one on WhatsApp, a question from Desmond. Will we be able to add additional numbers, as most people in the world have two numbers, one to call and one for WhatsApp?
So yes, essentially, because you would need to have a specific number for your business profile. So yes and no. So obviously you can use a separate number for contacting the shop in your business's profile. But for WhatsApp itself, it would need to be that dedicated number that you use for your business. So it would be part of your Facebook business profile and your WhatsApp business profile. I think there's a limitation on that for just one number.
I see here Desmond added a comment, not for our business, but for the customer. I'm not sure if he's asking whether the customer would need, how it would work if the customer had two numbers, because some people have a number that they prefer to be called on, and other people have a number for WhatsApp specifically.
I see. So at the moment, no, it would just default to the number. We would only have one number. That is something that we can definitely consider. If you want to go and submit it on the portal, we can have a look at that for you. But yes, essentially the customer would still just have the one number. And if they have so to add to your question is if they do have WhatsApp, we'll send a WhatsApp message to that number. But in the instance where they don't have WhatsApp, but the number that's on your shop's profile is not linked to WhatsApp, then they will automatically our system will check and then it will send them an SMS as a fallback, which is just an additional feature.
Awesome. I just want to see here if there's more questions relating to messaging or WhatsApp before moving on to the other questions. I see Gary added here, would it be possible to add a scene indicator to the SMS just to help us see if the customer saw the message?
Great, thank you, Gary. Yes, we with the release of WhatsApp, we'll also be introducing those delivered and seen interactions. I need to correct me. I think for SMS it'll just be delivered, but for emails we'll have that there, and then for WhatsApp it'll be the same as if you're as you used to on WhatsApp on your phone. So a single tick for delivered, double tick for, sorry, a single tick for sent, double tick for delivered and received, and then change color to blue or green. Can't remember once the customer has viewed it. So we can see that the customer has viewed the messages, which is great.
Awesome. Then we have two other questions here, not relating to WhatsApp. So the first one is from Frederick. He asks, do you have a time frame for supporting custom integrations via API or HTTP?
So yes and no. Yes, that is something that we will be working on, to have open APIs to allow integrations directly into our product. They are not in progress at the moment, but it is something that we have planned for this year. So unfortunately, it's not this quarter, but in the next 6 months, it is one of our main objectives for open APIs to allow ease of integration.
Awesome. Then we have two questions here from Brett, I see. The first one is for rentals. He says, in the roadmap, is there a way to capture debit order details? I want to say he needs to join tomorrow's session to find out.
I think, yes, it'd probably be best to join tomorrow's session to find out. Yeah, thanks for that question.
The second one from Brett is for WhatsApp. Can we build a guided conversation? So auto capture details for like a booking or fitting, aka a chatbot.
So for that at the moment, we won't have that ability yet. The first step with this integration into WhatsApp is just to have the same templates that we have at the moment. So all of our conversational templates that we send out throughout the process of a customer's journey with the job card or your service. So all of the interactions that we have at the moment will become part of, will be supported by WhatsApp. But we have not yet getting to that phase, or we will not be releasing that phase yet, where you can actually step-by-step instruction. But we will have, let me just see if I can show in the example image. So we will have some of the basic guidance that you mentioned. So for example, the delivery scheduling, we'd be able to have a call to action button to get your information about your delivery. And then also if a customer sends you a message directly from WhatsApp, once you've started an interaction with them, we will also be able to push a message back to them to clarify things. Like, for example, in this image here, you see the customer replied saying thanks, and we need to know what job they were asking about. So we check, okay, this is Mr. Hubtiger test account, and we see that he's got 2 jobs open with us. So we now show and present him with 2 buttons to allow him to say, okay, I'm looking for information on my job 124. And then we'll then guide them through the next steps to start the conversation.
Cool. Then we have a question here from Justin. First, he says hi, and then he asks, can we have a small icon somewhere on the home page of the job card if an attachment has been added to it? It would just be something for quick reference. We don't necessarily add we don't necessarily add attachments to all job cards, but it would be nice to know if there is one at a glance.
Okay, yeah, that's not something that we have at the moment, but that seems like a great candidate for our feedback form. If you'd like to pop it on there, or we can keep a record of it here, and it could be added to the list for us to review. It's definitely something that we can look into.
For sure. Then another question here from Desmond. Are you guys in the process of working on a back office mobile app for the business, not just for the customer?
We are not at the moment. We don't have any plans at the moment for that. It's we had an app for a little while. We found that it was a lot easier to manage it on a web platform. So I would say that a specific dedicated app that you download from an app store is probably not something that we will have in very soon. But what we will be planning in the next couple of, I'd say, year or so, would be more towards an app. So it'll be present on your phone. It'll present like an app, but it would be what's called a progressive web app. So it essentially acts as if it's an app on your phone, but it is essentially just an encased browser. You'll probably find, I'm trying to think of if there's any specific apps that people interact with. I know here in South Africa, there's quite a few apps that we interact with that are web apps. Often things like online stores where you can buy, it's like Amazon style stores. They often use a web app style. So no dedicated app, but there will be a future version where we will have an app that people can use in store.
We have another question here. When we add the customer, when he doesn't have an account, can they make an account later and then there'll be 2 different accounts? I'm not sure I quite understand that question. We could maybe reach out to understand it in a bit more detail.
Yeah, I think if we could, maybe we can reach out and we can look at that in a little bit more detail. So I'm not quite sure I understand.
Awesome. Then we have another one from Desmond. Also, just to point out, he said, thank you guys, really appreciate the webinar. Keep up the good work. And with all your customers, this can be a big thing. So thank you so much for that, Desmond.
Thank you very much, Desmond.
His question, could we add an option to the quote to mention payment, cash, bank, or card for people that don't have integrated point of sale systems?
Oh, okay. So if you don't have an integrated POS, so yeah, I mean, something that we can look at. If you definitely, if you, Desmond, if you would add that to our feedback form, that would be great. We can have a look into that for you in a lot more detail. I think it's a bit of a hard one to answer in this call. So I think we would let's maybe chat about it a little bit more in detail, and you can give us maybe we can set up a call and go through it in a bit more detail.
Awesome. I think that is all the questions. We do also have a very nice comment here from Vanessa saying Hubtiger has been a real game changer for our business. Our customers really appreciate the interaction with us. Thank you guys for this app.
Amazing. Great. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
I
That's
think
awesome.
that is all the questions.
Great. Well, then if there isn't anything from anybody else, you can call it an evening. And or sorry, it might be morning for some of you. It's freezing cold and sun setting here in South Africa.
I see
Everybody sorry,
Gary made a comment here saying he has a
you've
couple,
added a couple.
he has a few. Gary, I don't know if you want to ask them on here or if you would prefer a one-on-one call with Kyle. Vanessa says it's 10:45 in Quebec.
Well, good morning then. Cool. All right, great. Thanks, everybody. I think was it Gary? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
let's get in contact and we can definitely chat in more detail. Cool. Everybody, have a lovely day and a lovely evening, and see you tomorrow if you're joining for that call. Cheers, everybody.